Hey, Neil, why are you laying on your stomach on the floor and kicking your legs in the air while you flip through a comic? I need your help setting the navigation. You know it's touchy. You've been here as long as me.
Okay. All right, fine. But hey, real quick. Who do you think would win in a fight between a xenomorph and Iron Man?
The xenomorph?
No way, dude. Iron Man is so cool.
Okay, yeah, maybe. But here's the thing. The xenomorph is the perfect killing machine, A, and B, Iron Man just like a drunk rich guy.
Hater. Hey, Cooler Bot. What Marvel superhero do you think could beat up a xenomorph?
I'm gonna go with Deadpool.
Huh. You know, I would have thought he'd have gone with, I don't know, Submariner.
Welcome to Crew Expendable. Neil Smash.
Man, mine was even going to be, and I'm the Hulk Rohrbacher. I guess we're both Hulks today.
Sure. And we have assembled to explore the Alien franchise. Close enough.
Got him. I see what you did there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Flawless execution. No, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's Aliens versus Avengers #1 day on Crew Expendable. Something that we were maybe going to cover in a different way. And then I was like, hey, you want to just do issue 1? And you were like, yeah, I got nothing else to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's a long weekend because we're recording this on Labor Day weekend. It's currently Sunday afternoon. I had nothing going on. And suddenly, I think it was like Friday evening, maybe Thursday evening, Neil just messaged me and he's like, you know what? Screw it. Do you just want to record AVA 1 this weekend? And I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, why not?
So here we are.
Yeah. And I blame our friends, Mike, Danny, and Tom for talking about it in Discord. I want to catch up and join the conversation.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of conversations about it from like the day the issue came out. And now, admittedly, listeners, I did not know until right now while we're sitting here recording this that was the reason Neil wanted to record this episode this weekend. But like now that I know that, yeah, duh, of course, I should have been able to figure that out on my own.
We gotta strike while the iron's hot, right?
As they say.
Those 3 people make up like 34% of our listeners.
That is correct, yes.
Except Danny doesn't.
We have what, 9 listeners? Is that what you're saying?
Something like that. I don't know.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
We got a few more than that.
Just a few.
Before we get into it, though, Kenny, I want to address something that we learned on Twitter. This is either coming out after our third episode on Sea of Sorrows has dropped, or between parts 2 and 3 of Sea of Sorrows. We got a tweet reply, a comment from Aaron Percival over there from the AVP Galaxy website and podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He says that he thought similar to us that it would make a lot of sense that Ripley 8 is the Ripley that Alan Decker is descended from.
Mm-hmm.
But he also says that apparently James A. Moore, the author himself, has confirmed that Alan Decker is a descendant of the Ellen and Amanda Ripleys from the past. Now,
see, I will admit that does kind of make sense because Ripley 8 was never on New Galveston and never fought those xenomorphs.
Yeah, but they still have the same like human smell, right?
But yeah, I mean, like they're still genetically the same person, and like, you know, we already know Amanda didn't have any kids.
Well, she didn't have any kids up to that point of alien isolation, right?
Well, I thought they said in Aliens that she died without kids.
Yeah, but that's a deleted. I thought that was a deleted scene from the special edition. Even
you're right, it might be. But like the point I was getting at though, was that like we had already been informed, maybe apocryphally, that Amanda didn't have any kids, and Decker being a descendant of Ripley 8 makes sense because it explains how he has xenomorph sense.
Right. I think it could work either way. I just wanted to drop that out there. I don't want to be, spreading fake news out here. And since all of our Sea of Sorrows episodes are in the can, so to speak, this was our best opportunity to address that.
Yeah. Anyone listening out there, for instance, Aaron, do not expect that to get mentioned in the third Sea of Sorrows episode, because that's already been recorded. Yes. And not only has that been recorded, but I think we talk in there very explicitly in that episode. He's definitely a descendant of Ripley 8 specifically. I think that is a conversation we have in that episode. So just watch out for that.
I think we have that conversation on all 3 of our Sea of Sorrows episodes.
I think we do too, because in my mind, it's the only thing that makes sense. Like him being a descendant of a regular Ellen, like makes less sense to me than it being Ripley 8. But that's just me. What do I know,
Well, hey. Look, we love to learn on this podcast, and we can admit when we're wrong.
That's right.
Which is hardly ever.
Hardly ever. Almost never. Extremely rarely.
Shout out to Aaron and shout out to AVP Galaxy, a good website run by people who know a lot more about the franchise than we do.
That is very true, yes.
Yeah.
I could not agree more. We don't know shit about shit, as they say.
Well, we're learning this, right? This is a journey. Right. That's why the description of the podcast is that it's a journey through everything, not an encyclopedic recounting of everything.
It's about the journey, not the destination, as they say.
Very true. Also, I think the connection issues we were having was because I had the Kindle app open on my computer.
Very cool. Good work.
Yeah. Thanks, Bezos.
Yeah. I'm blaming you, Jeff.
That fucking guy, right?
Yeah, that fucking guy, dude. Tell me about it.
If anyone brings xenomorphs to Earth, it's gonna be him.
It's
right.
I mean, let's be real. For all we know, maybe he already has.
Well, he's going to space.
He is. Why do you think he's going to space?
God, where's Duncan Fields when we need him?
Ah, there we go, man. I was jonesing for it. Perfect. Flawless execution.
One last bit before we jump into this Marvel Superheroes Xenomorph crossover. It's been a bit since Romulus has dropped and our episode on it has dropped. Kenny, any opinion changes on that film?
No. Okay. I still feel extremely highly on it, and I still only have seen it the once. But I'm still like, when I think back or look back and think about the movie, I'm still like, yeah, that movie ruled. I loved it, and I had a great time. Hell yeah!
Nice. I'm jonesing for another viewing. I'm still pretty up on it, but like after my opinion increased from like a 7 or a 7.5 to like an 8.5 on our episode, I'm probably down to a more realistic 8 out of 10. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why. I think I'm remembering all the parts that I really liked about it. That's kind of it. I don't know. I'm losing some of the details already, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I kind of am too, but like my thing of it is that, how should I put it? Realistically, it probably is at about an 8 out of 10, but I'm not changing my opinion of it being a 10 out of 10.
Sure.
Because it hit me at just the right time in just the right way and gave me precisely what I wanted out of a new Alien movie.
Yeah.
And so objectively speaking, I probably shouldn't be as high on it as I am, but like, I'm a sucker for exactly the type of shit that movie was giving me.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I'm all in. Who fucking cares? It's fine.
I had a friend of ours asked me, like, when I told him it was like an 8 out of 10, he was like, I don't know why I'm being coy about this. I was talking to Corey from They Made Another One about this.
Right.
I was like, it's an 8 out of 10 for Alien movies, and he was like 8 out of 10 like for all movies, and I was like, I can't function that way. Like, I'm not going to put Alien Romulus up against Fast and the Furious, in terms of like how I'm ranking films.
That's fair.
I just don't do that. I base it on the rest of the series, not on everything in the world. So, I think I'm sitting at an 8. Might be a low 8. I haven't decided yet. I got to watch it again.
A low 8. Is that like a 7.99 and a half? Is that what that is?
I mean, basically it's, it's an 8. If we're going point, like the point system, it'd be like an 8.1 8.2. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Yeah. It's not a high 7, it's a low 8.
Speaking of which, though, speaking of our, not just Romulus, but specifically our episode on Romulus.
Yeah.
I know at least 4 people off the top of my head that listened to this show for the first time because they went and saw Romulus and then saw me posting,
Nice.
Hey, we just did an episode on Romulus. And so they went out of their way to listen to our show for the first time. And at least one of them is like, I'm definitely going to keep listening. Multiple people I know beyond those 4 have been like, that Romulus episode you guys did were really good. It was really fun. I had a great time listening to it.
Yeah.
It has been nothing but extremely positive reviews on my end. Everyone fucking loves it, dog.
Oh, jeez, I guess I'm getting all the hate mail and comments then. Oof.
So everyone, if somehow you still haven't listened to our Romulus episode yet, go listen to it because the fans have spoken. It's one of the best, apparently.
Yeah, go check it out. And shout out to Mike from from editing Xenopedia, and Tom from drawing us weird art of Coolerbot in a French maid outfit.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, thanks. Shout out to them for joining us on that episode. Surely they're most of the reason people are enjoying it.
That's probably true. I mean, they've heard our asses for like 77 episodes already by that point. So
right, and just hearing Tom say xenomorph, right?
Xenomorphs.
The xenomorphs. God,
the xenomorph.
Shout out to Britain.
Shout out to Britain. What up?
All right. That's enough. Let's get into this book. Kenny, were you excited about Aliens versus Avengers when it got announced?
I was not. I extremely was not. They said that, and I was like, oh, fucking here we go. This is the first step of Marvel just having aliens around in the big Marvel universe dicking around doing their normal shit. Fucking here we go. This is going to open the floodgates. So no, I was not excited for it. I was not looking forward to it. I was actively mad that this was something they were doing because this is what I feared they would do when I heard Disney was buying Fox.
Oh yeah. When Disney bought Marvel, we were like, what are they going to do? Put fucking Donald Duck on the Avengers now? You know,
I mean, I wasn't quite one of those guys, but I was just like, I'd like them to keep Alien separate from the other stuff.
Sure. I think my feeling was similar. I mean, I'm open to this, right? DC did a bunch of Dark Horse crossovers with xenomorphs. So like, it's not, it's not unexplored territory, right?
True.
But my feelings were when they were dropping like Predator versus Wolverine or the current, Black Panther versus Predator series. That made more sense to me. Because that's usually like a lone hunter. I know there's hunters I haven't read the Black Panther series, but in the Wolverine series we're slowly working through. I was like, that tracks, that makes sense. But to do like a full on Aliens versus Avengers book, I was like, well, we'll see. I don't know how Marvel treats these like crossovers. I know how DC treats them. They're non-canon, right? And I think Marvel pretty much does the same. But
the difference is that in this scenario, the two things that are getting crossed over are both owned by the same people.
Sure.
They're both the same property and the same IP owned by the same company.
Right.
So there is literally nothing preventing them from going, this is just permanently canon now. Get fucked.
Yeah.
Whereas like, Batman versus Xenomorph, those two comics printed by two different companies. So for like legal and logistical reasons, they couldn't be canon.
That's a good point.
But this can be now, and that's a big part of the reason why I was so angry that they're doing it now that Disney owns both of them, because since both of them are just Disney properties now, Disney can just do whatever they want with them and say, this is just how it is now. This is true in the canon of Marvel. Get fucked, Sure,
but I don't think that that's what's going to end up happening. I think, if anything, this is a multiverse story, or like an alternate universe story, not going to fit into the 616 universe.
Yeah, I mean, I will clarify that was something I was worried they would do,
Right.
not angry that they like are doing it, because
Oh, no.
I as far as I can tell, I don't think they are here.
Now Goofy and Deadpool are going to fight the Queen. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Okay. Again, I was a little more open to the idea than you, and here we are.
here we are.
Yeah, when they announced the creative team, I haven't shut up about Jonathan Hickman for one episode of this podcast, right? And usually I'm talking about it in the context of his Fantastic Four run. When he was announced as the writer of this, I was like, huh, because last time I was a hardcore Marvel reader was around leading up to and into the sort of Marvel Now relaunch, which I want to say was 2014-ish.
Right around there, yeah, give or take.
Yeah, and Hickman had just come off his Fantastic Four run, and I was super up on that. And then he got moved to the Avengers books, so it was Avengers and New Avengers, and those were dropping, bi-weekly, right? Or every 2 weeks one of those would come out, but we were getting 4 Hickman written Avengers books per month, and I couldn't keep up, and neither could my wallet, and I had to drop a lot of Marvel books at that time because they were just putting so many out at once. And also I had a really, really hard time getting into Hickman's Avengers run because I don't think he's a very accessible writer if you don't already know the character histories very well. Which was also proven to me when I tried reading his X-Books relaunches a few years ago. And I just had no idea what was going on or who anybody was. And that's on me. That's not on Hickman, right? Like he writes books, I think, for the hardcore fans primarily. Right. And so I can't step back into Marvel because of a Hickman book because I know I'm going to be lost.
I got you.
So I'm a little bit worried that I'm going to be lost stepping into this. He tends to sort of start things, not really en media res, but just assuming the reader has a lot of information that I don't have. And it takes a while for me to fit the pieces together.
Gotcha.
And I haven't been following Marvel. And I believe this book is set in the future. I don't remember from the solicitations. I believe it's kind of a, future events being shown here. This is not your standard, ongoing, existing continuity or whatever. So my big fear is that I'm not going to understand who anybody is or what's going on from issue 1.
That's fair.
I guess we should remind people that when these new comics come out, for the most part, we read them while recording live for the first time.
And to clarify, this is one of those times. As far as I know,
yes.
Unless Neil's pulling a fast one on me, neither of us have read this book before right now.
And hey, YouTube commenters, this does not mean that we are going to read the comic book to you. It means we are going to read the comic book and talk about it as we read it.
That is correct, yes.
Yes. Anyway, long story short, I reached out to our buddy Danny from the Next Issue podcast, and I thumbed through this book just very quickly, and when I saw things I didn't recognize, I said, hey, Danny, I got some questions for you. Who are these people? Is this who I think it is? Etc. So any deep information I have about which Marvel characters these are, that came from Danny. Shout out to Danny and the Next Issue podcast. Link in the episode description. Because to quote him, he just wants the clout.
Classic Danny.
Classic Danny. All right, let's jump into this thing. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's start with this pretty sick cover, honestly.
Yeah, let's start with this. Actually, before we even start with the cover proper, I'd like to start with the logo of the comic is great.
The logo of the comic is great. The Aliens versus Avengers. It reminds you of the Wayland Yutani logo, right? Yeah.
It looks like the Wayland Yutani logo, but flipped upside down, and the bars are broken up, so it looks like it says AVA in the yellow negative space. That's really clever, and I like that a lot, and it looks very cool.
And the AVA are yellow, which good on the designers over there to match that yellow in the 20th Century Studios banner. We all know this is important to me.
It is important to you. Yes, that's correct.
Good looking cover with a xenomorph, like a space background, a starry background with a xenomorph sort of.
Yeah, he's hovering menacingly over the Avengers members in the front, kind of like screaming at him. Yeah.
Yeah, this cover's by Esad Ribić before I scroll past it. And this cover features a xenomorph, Captain America, Iron Man, and Captain Marvel.
And I gotta say, I really love the look on Captain America there. He has like the deepest frown I've ever seen.
He is not happy about having to throw his shield at some xenomorphs.
Well, technically, he's throwing it at us, the reader.
Oh, yeah. He heard how you feel about this comic existing, and he's like, I'm going to fucking get you, Kenny. Iron Man's about to shoot us. Captain Marvel, is she not throwing anything? Maybe a punch.
Yeah, she's just kind of menacingly waving her fist in our direction.
They all look mad, except, so by comparison, the xenomorph looks like he's smiling.
He sure does, because he has two sets of mouths, and they're both grinning.
There we go. Good cover, solid cover.
Yep, I like it. Big fan.
The art is very cool on this. I love that there's a parental advisory real small in the corner just to make sure the parents know, you know?
There sure is.
All right. First page, some space shit is going on. I don't know, man.
Yep. We get some what looks like carvings of people staring up at the stars.
Yeah, it's like the Prometheus cave paintings. They're pointing to the LV-426. What's the why can't I pull the system?
Zeta Reticuli?
Zeta Reticuli 2.
Planet?
Yeah, Zeta 2 Reticuli. Yeah.
Zeta 2 Reticuli. There we go.
Yeah, man.
And they're pointing it's like carvings of people pointing at like a constellation in the sky.
Yes.
And then we see that same shape actually in space.
Sure.
And there is a spaceship blasting away from it.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like to me anyway.
This is shout out to Danny. I believe this is a Shi'ar ship.
All right.
I'm not positive. And on this next page, though, we've definitely got a Kree specimen strapped into the machine that Deathstroke was using in Teen Titans: The Judas Contract to steal all the Titans' powers.
And he also has Mega Man arm cannons, it looks like. Because the things holding his arm in place look like an arm cannon.
Yeah, that's your reference for that. My reference was the machine Deathstroke uses in Teen Titans: The Judas Contract.
But, someone is talking about how the Kree specimen died and it sucked because they thought he was going to live, but instead he, quote, failed post-implantation.
Yeah, dude, and there's a little dead face hugger at his feet.
And then, we pan down to his feet, which are also strapped in, and there's a dead, curled-up face hugger on the ground.
So here's an example of Hickman jumping right into the action, but me being able to follow it, because I know what a xenomorph is, right? Mm-hmm. I know what a face hugger is. In this instance, he's not wasting my time, and I appreciate that.
Let's see. There's a couple of Shi'ar these are Shi'ar, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, I think so. They're standing around talking about, they're trying the experiment and this one may have failed, but they're still going to succeed. Most of our other attempts have been a success.
The real prize pig of this batch was the Skrull specimen.
Yeah, apparently that turned out well for them.
Yeah, but unfortunately the Skrulls have no homeworld to seed. So are they thinking they're going to drop face huggers all over planets?
That is definitely what it sounds like, yeah.
Holy shit.
While they're talking, and then an alert goes off. Incoming vessels.
Ooh, I hope it's Iron Man.
They're described as on an attack vector.
Yeah, dude.
Let's see.
Yeah, 4 Explorer class frigates.
Oh, they're of Wakandan design. So Wakanda has space flight now. That's cool.
And they're just zooming in here, blasting missiles away.
Yeah, blasting a whole bunch of missiles at this fucking Shi'ar ship, lighting it the fuck up.
Yeah, but the Shi'ar are like, let's just let them in. Let's welcome in. And bam, we got some Panthers.
Yeah, we sure do. There's a whole bunch of people dressed up in a variation of the classic Black Panther outfit. I don't know if their outfits are actually supposed to be gray or if they're just colored that because the room is smoky. But
these are definitely a different color. You'll see on the next page because they're like, all right, this area is clear. Radio him in. And no need, I'm already here. This looks like this is T'Challa, right? T'Challa?
I have to assume it is, yeah.
Hell yeah.
And there he is, my man.
There's two of them. There's a father and son.
He apparently has a son. That's cool.
So I will say,
anyone out there, like if T'Challa's son is a pre-existing character, sorry, I didn't know that. So
according to Danny, that as far as he knows, it is a new character.
Okay.
Yes. I don't want to put Danny on the spot as knowing everything. I appreciate his help answering questions for me. So yeah, if anyone has the answer, mother@crewexpendable.net or leave it on our YouTube comments. Don't hassle Danny.
Shit, Neil, check this out. He's talking to one of them and he says, the black hole below us is massive enough to cause severe time dilation.
Oh my God.
Hours here costs years out there. They fucking brought it up in an Alien story, dude.
Yeah, but it only exists in this version of Aliens, not in the actual time dilation.
But they brought it up at all. The first time anyone has thought to ever talk about it was in 2024.
And it was Hickman. It was Hickman in a Marvel comic. Okay. Wow. Finally.
Yeah, let's see. We quarantined an entire sovereign Wakandan planet because of the weapon we traced back to here. I have to assume they're talking about a xenomorph.
They must be,
right? We will risk whatever we have to put an end to it.
Vibration.
Let's see. And then they look over and what do they see on the ship? Some fucking xenomorphs, baby.
Yeah, they're in like a hangar bay and they're like, there's some readings over there. And we got xenomorphs like 9 pages into this thing. This is a long issue, by the way, guys. This is like 45 pages.
Apparently, T'Challa's son is named Azari, so that's fun.
And then he just fucking lightning zaps these fucking Xenos. He's got lightning.
Yeah, he goes in there and shoots a fucking lightning bolt at him and blows up the ship partially.
Hell yeah.
And then they scree as they jump off the ship and engage in attacks. Oh, and then the Xenomorphs get fucking lit up by lightning again. That's cool.
Find the masters of this place, and I want them on their knees. Damn. Black Panther's a badass.
Oh, and then we cut immediately to a synth because it's bleeding white blood.
Shit, this is just a synth.
Yeah. There is just a synth there. Yeah.
That's crazy.
The same weapon they used on our empire, they've already launched at least a dozen more. So yeah, you were correct. They're capturing members of species, implanting them with facehuggers, and then sending them back to that species or that race's homeworld to infect the entire place and kill all of them.
That's kind of dope. Or do you think they're dumping pathogen? I know they're not. All right.
And then T'Challa finds out that one of the planets is Earth, and he's like, what?
Shit, one of the worlds, it was Earth. Oh, okay, so they beat the shit out of this synthetic.
Oh, they sure did.
Unless like Shi'ar bleed white also. Maybe that's not. Nope, it's a synthetic. They rip his head off.
No, yeah, he takes off the wig of the synthetic, and he goes, you're not even a Shi'ar. You're not even alive. You're just a machine. And he's like, psh.
So were these all synthetics posing as Shi'ar?
Well, this one certainly was. And then T'Challa cuts the synth's head off.
This is interesting because he says
the head.
He's got the line, if you prick me, do I not bleed? That's something I don't think we've talked about enough. And maybe this isn't the right place to do it, but like, you know, the idea of androids as a subservient class to humans is just all over the franchise, like as an allegory for slavery. That was touched in a lot in Romulus, and that didn't make it into our discussion. It definitely needs to make it into a future one. Yeah,
like you said, I don't know that here is the place, but yes, that is correct.
Yeah, but this is a fascinating... I like that. Bring the head, we're leaving.
But yeah, he cuts off the synth's head, and then they're bringing the head with them as they fly away.
And they took the head so they could pull its memories out.
Yeah, it says here they already used the weapon on Earth, Chandelar, Spartax, and every other galactic hub in our corner of the universe.
Yeah, and as a big Marvel fan, I know what all of those places are.
Yeah.
Mostly Earth, but I definitely know the other ones. And bam, we get our credits page.
Yep. AVA, baby.
We'll hit the credits here. Written by Jonathan Hickman, art by Esad Ribić, colors by Ive Svorcina, and letters by Corey Petit. We've seen Corey Petit's name in one of these Marvel books.
Yeah, we have. I don't remember which one, though.
Liking the design of this credits page, too, the sort of ASCII art AVA logo like you'd see on an old.
It looks like a fucking old school like printer kind of thing.
Like you'd see on like a Seegson monitor or something.
Yeah.
In universe. Shout out to Jay Bowen for the design of these books. I know I've said that before, but I really do like the way the design of the Alien books has come together under Marvel, especially now that they're coloring that 20th Century Banner complementary colors to the rest of the art.
Then it slams right back to us being informed that the seed worlds, presumably the planets that they put infected people on, were not chosen at random.
So this is the ship we saw blasting off at the beginning. This must be.
It's called a seed probe.
Yes.
And it has 4 queen eggs and 12 infected hosts on it.
In suspended animation. All right. This is a good plan of attack, honestly.
Yeah. 4 locations in proximity of high density population centers are targeted. It takes almost no time for hosts to yield their hidden bounty, a xenomorph.
Man, and we talked about this on our Romulus episode. I'm ready to see more shit like this. Xenomorphs in densely populated areas.
Yeah, they're described, by the way, as the greatest killing machine in the history of the universe. Ooh. Which, what a great fucking phrase, dude.
Yeah, take that, Galactus. Right?
That sounds so cool, dude.
Hey, who would win in a fight between a Xenomorph and Galactus?
Well, can Galactus die?
Technically, no. I didn't mention this, but as a little bit of prep, I started reading the Hickman Doom series that came out a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
No, Galactus can't die.
Yeah, and say I'm pretty sure he can't, because I think with like the Beyonder and all those guys like that, I think he's like his life force literally is comprised of the existence of the universe.
Sure.
So he can't die if the universe still exists or something like that. So
yeah, and he eats whole planets and populations. So I'd say this is the greatest killing machine in the history of the universe with an asterisk.
Yeah.
All right. Damn, within an hour, these alien drones born from the chest bursters are fully grown, and within a day, a hive has been constructed.
Mm-hmm.
That's quick timeline, man. This art is crazy.
Yeah, we see a queen stomping around, laying eggs. And then it's described as the process accelerating. And then we see shots of various cities all over the planet. We have what looks like Tokyo, maybe, and then Paris and a few other things.
Sure.
As within 1 month, within 1 week, within 1 year, et cetera, as we're seeing xenomorphs murdering people all over the planet.
Yeah, this is dope. Helicopters trying to fight them for some reason. I want to say that first panel is somewhere in Europe, maybe Rome, because of the cathedrals,
Yeah.
But I could be so wrong about that.
Yeah, like they said, remember each seed probe contains 4 queens per planet.
Sure.
They describe it as the perfect delivery mechanism for the extinction of a species. That's fun.
This is rad. I'm loving this concept.
Oh, great. Okay, then we cut to Adelan, where, for anyone that doesn't know, is where the Inhuman royal family lives.
Sure.
I don't know if I've ever talked on here about how much I fucking hate the Inhumans.
Dude, I hate the Inhumans too.
I cannot stand them. They suck so fucking much. They're so stupid and lame.
Black Bolt and his dumbass dog I can't think of the name of.
Lockjaw. But dude, okay, first off, Black Bolt is not just a nickname. The motherfucker's real name is Blackagar Boltagon. First off, fuck you. And second off, my favorite moment, I love the Planet Hulk and World War Hulk comic books. They're my favorite Hulk comics. Ooh. The best moment of that entire story was when there was a shot of a hologram of King Hulk having beaten the shit out of everyone that sent him to the planet in the first place.
Yeah.
And in that scene, he's holding an unconscious and bleeding Black Bolt. And I was like, Hulk, just take his fucking head off. I don't care.
Fuck him.
I fucking hate the Inhumans. They're so stupid. I cannot stand them. Fight me. Anyone out there that likes the Inhumans, I don't care. Don't even bother telling me, because I'm just going to be like, you know what? You're wrong.
I got a couple things on this. First, whenever the Inhumans got tied a lot to Fantastic Four stories for a long time, probably still do. And whenever the fucking Inhumans popped up, I was just like, all right, fuck this. I'm just going to get through this. I am not excited about them being here at all. The other thing is, okay, well, to build on that more, do you remember like early in the MCU when Disney, or when Marvel Studios, even before Disney bought them, but afterwards, they didn't have the rights to the X-Men. So they were like, well, let's just sub in the Inhumans as for mutants. And they were trying to pull like some Inhumans shit on like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that stuff.
They sure were.
Yeah, that's half the reason I stopped following that shit early on. Because I was like, I don't fucking care about the Inhumans, Jesus.
All right, well, I hope this means we're about to see Black Bolt get his neck ripped out. That's what I'm hoping.
Thirdly, a very important correction I keep forgetting to do. I don't even remember what episode it was on, but Peter David came up on our show, and I like incorrectly credited Peter David with Planet Hulk. And I know I've talked to you about this afterwards, and you're like, yeah, I didn't feel like correcting you on the show. So here's finally my public apology. Like, Peter David is not Greg Pak, and Greg Pak is the guy who did Planet Hulk and I think World War Hulk, right? So
I believe so, yeah.
My bad, everybody. Finally got that off my chest, and I feel so much better now.
Well, I'm glad my ranting about how much I hate the Inhumans finally gave you the opportunity.
It did, yeah. But all right, let's see what's going on here. So Attilan.
But yeah, we see Attilan out here, and then we see a xenomorph staring up at it. And then they're fighting him, and Black Bolt's hanging around, and I'm hoping he gets killed. I got my fingers crossed.
Fingers fucking crossed. Oh, hey, look at that. We go to Atlantis, right? The xenomorphs are killing Atlantis. Namor's in there somewhere, right?
Yeah, presumably, but they're all dead.
Not Coolerbot's favorite Marvel hero, surprisingly.
Let's see. We cut to Wakanda, presumably the one on Earth. Sure. And Black Panther is running a big spear through a xenomorph while a gunship fires on him.
Look at these. That's a shield, right? The way it's positioned, it almost looked like this xenomorph had like wings,
like a wings,
like a glider.
I think that's a shield.
Okay.
Let's see. It says here, Wakanda held out longer than most, but it eventually also succumbed.
And now we're dealing with the mutants.
And then the mutants on Krakoa abandoned their island and fled to Mars.
Holy shit. Except for Apocalypse.
Except Apocalypse, who, by the way, straight up, I'm going to be real with you. He's my favorite mutant.
There you go. Apocalypse is pretty
I love
dope.
Apocalypse. He rules. He's great. And apparently he was living on Krakoa with the rest of them. I didn't even know that.
That is something I believe from the recent X books, that it was all mutants coming together on Krakoa, like putting aside their differences to build a society.
But yeah, basically he's standing on a big platform in front of a big tree with a face on it. I don't read X-Men comics, so I don't know what that deal is.
I couldn't keep up. If he lives, he lives. If he dies,
they say
he
that
dies.
All mutants fled for Mars except Apocalypse. He's not going to surrender. You know, as they even say, the world had now become the arena he'd always wanted. And as Neil, as you said, if he lives, he lives. If he dies, he dies.
Yeah, man.
And then we see him cut off the front half of the head of a xenomorph with a big sword. And that's the last time we see him now, at least. I don't know if he ever comes back.
And so it was for all the Earth, all except the last human city.
Yeah, there's one city still left alive. Stronghold in the ruins of America. And then we cut to an old guy that the narrative is kind of implying this is Wayland himself.
The old man of Wayland knew. Yes, I believe this is a theory that this might be a Wayland.
Speaking of theories, I do remember hearing somebody say that the city that we're in right now is never specified, but a lot of people believe it's Chicago.
Sure. Yeah. I believe that's one of the things that Danny and so on were talking about in the Discord.
But yeah, we see the big Wayland building.
Any iconic like Mies van der Rohe or Frank Lloyd Wright architecture in this. So if this is Chicago, they kind of torn a lot of historic architecture down before the xenomorphs got to it.
Let's see. We see the out front of the Wayland building and the old guy. Okay, an old guy is standing there with a cane and someone from what looks like the Nova Corps, maybe?
Yes.
That symbol on their chest. She comes in and calls the guy Bruce. So I have to assume this is Bruce Banner.
Oh, I was thinking Bruce Wayne. You're probably right. It's probably Bruce Banner. It's
probably not Bruce Wayne, but I guess there's technically a chance. The lady he's talking to that I thought was a member of the Nova Corps. This is Carol. Okay, so this is
Carol Danvers.
Yeah, Carol Danvers, old Captain Marvel, and old Hulk is who was talking right now.
Hell yeah! So we're concretely in the old Chikala wasn't enough of a tip. This is definitely the future
for sure.
Sure.
And let's see, Bruce is basically blind.
Hold on.
And they're waiting for a she to show up.
Hold on. We got Fantastic Four conversation here now.
We sure do. Bruce is waiting for a she to show up.
It was bad when Johnny and Susan died in the accident. Reed got worse.
Johnny and Susan are dead.
Franklin and Ben disappeared to who knows where, never to be seen again. Yep. He was convinced the universe he had bent to the shape of his life was whatever.
Prediction. Sue and Johnny are dead. Franklin and Ben disappeared forever.
So they're waiting for Valeria.
Presumably, yeah. Oh, Reed is dead, though. Bruce even says on his deathbed, Reed made me promise.
So the first family is no more.
He even says, and now Valeria's out there, so he is waiting for Valeria.
Hell yeah.
He's about to go after her, and Carol's like, absolutely the fuck not. And Bruce is like, look, this city is about to fucking collapse. We're all going to die here. And she's like, yeah, motherfucker, I know. Okay. I'm not stupid.
But we kind of need a Hulk here. I bet is what she's thinking.
Yeah. She straight up says, it's like, I have used my training to maintain my discipline my entire life. But I'm going to go out of my way to let go of all of that when they finally arrive. Damn. I'm going to straight up go fucking supernova, and I'm going to burn this entire place to the ground when I do it. And Bruce is hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And she straps her fucking helmet on, her Nova Corps helmet on, and she is off. Wait, no, she's not. No, that's not her. She's right there in the corner. That's somebody else jumping across the skyline.
That's Bruce, I believe.
No, okay. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so did he just Hulk out and be like, bye? And now he
just jumped away. Oh, and she mentions Morales has point, so apparently Miles is in this comic.
Cut to...
Oh, and then, like, literally 1 page later, there he is. If I had known that, I wouldn't have said anything.
Miles Morales, Spider-Man, wherever Hulk has landed.
Yep, Hulk lands right where Miles is.
All right, old receding hairline Hulk kind of rules.
Right? I honestly kind of like it too.
This is rad.
Let's see. Somebody pulls up in like a little what looks almost like a Fantastic car. So maybe this is Valeria.
That's Valeria, dude.
And there's a xenomorph on it, but Miles pulls her away from it at the last minute before it gets her.
Nice. I got to say, she's in the white suit with the black trim, which is mostly tied to the Future Foundation when in Hickman's run. I think they've used the white costumes on occasion. I really love the white and black Fantastic Four suits.
It's funny you say that because the only thing I know about the Future Foundation, other than the fact that it's like a comic that exists, because I'm not a Fantastic Four guy, I never read it. The only thing I know about the Future Foundation is that Spider-Man has a Future Foundation costume in one of the PlayStation Spider-Man games. I think it's the first one.
Hell yeah.
And the main reason I remember it is because when it showed up, I went, wow, that might be the ugliest costume I've ever seen. And I never used it.
Well, it's okay. You can be wrong about things.
I'm allowed to be wrong about things. For instance, I'm sure people are going to be like, actually, the Inhumans are cool.
Sure.
And I'll be like, no, they're not.
Yeah, they're not. It's fine.
This is straight up a hill hill I'm willing to die on. So people don't even bother trying to tell me I'm wrong. I will not listen to you or take heed to your words.
So real quick, the reason Spider-Man has a Future Foundation costume is when Johnny Storm was presumed dead, trapped in the negative zone, he had left a message behind saying that he wanted Spider-Man to replace him on the team if it ever came to that, because Johnny and Peter Parker are, good buddies.
Wasn't there a period back like a while ago, maybe the 80s or something, where they did like a Fantastic Four, but like all four of the members were different people? Yeah. Wasn't Spider-Man on that team?
That was the new Fantastic Four, and I don't remember if Spider-Man was on it, because I only know about that by association. That's not one I've sat down to read. I believe that was Medusa and one of the Inhumans, and
I would say Medusa was it Crystal? Maybe
it was Crystal, because Crystal and Johnny Storm used to bump uglies.
And then I want to say that I don't remember who replaced the Thing, but I do remember somebody replaced the. Well, again, I'm pretty sure somebody replaced all four.
There've been a few versions. Like there was a Scott Lang led FF team that's what I think Medusa was on. That was similar to the new Fantastic Four. Storm and Black Panther have been members on occasion.
Black Panther were on there for a while, but
She-Hulk, I think She-Hulk might have been the Thing stand-in on the original run, but I don't know. Hey, why don't you guys send these questions over to Danny at the Next Issue podcast?
But yeah, like you were saying, Valeria has the white costume on, and Miles pulls her out of what I'm just going to keep calling the Fantasticar, because there's a horde of xenomorphs chasing her, and one of them is actively on the car trying to grab her.
We're going to call this the Fantastic Cart, because it's basically just a golf cart.
That's true, yes. It's a golf cart with a huge fucking windscreen on it, yeah. But yeah, he pulls her out, and Miles is like, Hulk, come on, bro. And Hulk's like, all right, yeah, you got it. And then picks up a piece of a building and then like crushes all of the xenomorphs with it.
Love it. Love when Hulk does Hulk shit.
And Hulk tries to get on Valeria's case, and we find out that Valeria is 45 and has been divorced twice. Because,
and I quote, relationships are for people who are aware of and acknowledge the needs of others.
And then Miles thwips up the remaining Xenos and pins him in place.
That's not going to stop him for long, dude.
No, it's not going to stop him at all.
Do your hand shocky thing. That slows him down, like in Fire Team with the electrostatic rounds.
The three of them run off. And apparently Valeria stole an egg that she has to get out of the back of the cart. Great. Good idea.
She sure did. Yeah, this is classic Valeria shenanigans right here.
And then we're back at the Wayland building, and they're looking at the egg, which they have under glass and in like a force tube. And by they, I mean Bruce, Carol, Miles, and Valeria.
Yes. If we have any hope at all, this is how we do it. And Carol's like, all right, I heard the word Lynn. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, I heard the word win, so I'm listening.
Let's see.
I love that on the screen behind Valeria, they've got like diagrams of like the xenomorph and the different life cycles.
Yeah, we got into a land war with perfect killing machines. It didn't take us long to realize they were using us to make more drones. We tried to cut them off at the source. Presumably she means the Queen, and this is where we went wrong. Oh, no, I was wrong. They tried to stop them at the face hugger stage.
Psychology of it was simple. We wanted to save the people who were being used as hosts.
As soon as the damn things were attached, they were already as good as dead. Science, magic, nothing worked. Nothing worked except starting sooner.
Wow.
She says, I'm going to create a virus that will kill the eggs.
This is
and Miles,
cool.
Miles is like, can you do that? And then Carol goes, look at her face. Of course she can do that.
Don't you know who Valeria fucking Richards is?
This is where I'm going to confess. I kind of don't. Like, I know that Valeria is one of Reed and Sue's kids.
Yeah.
And I know she's like crazy and has like powers and stuff, but I don't remember which one is Franklin and which one is Valeria and who can do what.
So Franklin is a mutant, and he is the most, allegedly, possibly the most powerful human on the planet.
All right.
he, like, at one point, if I'm remembering this correctly, he got bored, so he just sort of created an entire universe inside his bedroom closet.
All right.
Created life and sentience and everything inside this thing as a child, so I don't think he really understood what he was doing. Valeria is his younger sister, who is smarter than everybody else in the Marvel Universe, including Reed Richards.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when she says that she can create this virus, it's not because she's like a mage or something. It's because she's smart enough that she can figure out how to do it.
Yes, and I may be forgetting some of her quote unquote power set, but I believe she is just the definition of a fucking genius, like smarter than everybody.
Got it.
And like exponentially smarter.
Yeah, she says that she can do it though, and then old Bruce, who I gotta say, looking great with the black button up and the skinny white tie, great look. He's like, if you create this virus, it could mutate into something worse than what we have now. And Carol's like, Bruce, there is no worse than what we have now.
Sure. And she's like, all right, now if y'all don't mind, get the fuck out of here so I can get to work.
Yep. And then Bruce is talking to a really old guy in a motorized wheelchair.
Yeah, with some stuff on his head. He's like,
I'm pretty sure she can do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet against her.
Yeah.
What's on this old dude's head, though? These are like Matrix, like jacks.
Yeah,
right?
It looks like, like plug jacks or something like that. Yeah.
They kind of remind me of what we saw in the synthetic towards the beginning, the one that was the fake Shi'ar.
Yeah, like after they removed the wig, it had the little dots in it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Keep an eye on that.
Let's see. He says his project is almost complete. We're going to have to figure out what to do with what's left of humanity.
He's like, I've almost built the Prometheus.
Let's see.
Fuck. What if he's almost built the Prometheus? Oh no. What if I just called the ending?
Let's see. They're still talking for a while. And then the guy is like, look, you can get as mad at me as you want, but she did come back. Hey, we're better than you think we are.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Valeria frowning at the egg.
This is a fun line here. The old man says, it's not our skin, the outer shell that defines a person. It's what's inside that counts. And this has like just so many implications. Like, we just saw all this stuff with the egg, right? And it's like, well, it's not what's the egg, it's what's inside the egg, right? But also when the xenomorphs face hug us, when the face huggers face hug us, that's what's inside us. That you guys get what I'm saying. This is layered.
It cuts to.
Can you guys tell I'm kind of tired?
It cuts to back inside the Wayland building, and it's night now.
Yes.
And Bruce is typing in a code, and he's like bringing in like a cart with some stuff on it, and his code doesn't work. And he's apparently, Valeria's on the other side of the door, and he's like, look, I brought you some food. You need to let me in. But his access code keeps getting denied.
Oh, shit.
And then he gets a message from Valeria that was like a hologram message that was pre-recorded that basically says, no, I'm denying your access but because I ran out of time.
Yeah, my plan worked while it was working.
It had been working.
I used a light bender based on my mom's powers, and I walked right into the hive.
Yeah, then I tripped, and they were crawling all over me. Something was in me, and then it killed me.
I remember choking in darkness and then waking up knowing something was inside of me. Damn, she got God.
Yeah, I ran out of time.
Oh, my God.
And then she's like, you have to promise that you won't open the door. No matter what you do, don't open the door, because if you do, it will escape. Fuck. And then immediately it cuts to the Hulk tearing the door open and immediately getting attacked by a xenomorph that's wrapped around his fucking face.
I did not see this coming, that like Valeria was like, she knew she had gotten infected, right? But she's like, I still have time to figure out this virus.
Let's see.
Damn.
He immediately gets attacked by the xenomorph. It tries to bite him with his pharyngeal jaw. And it looks like he rips its head open, maybe.
Yeah, he grabs it by the jaw and rips the jaw off.
That's what it is. There we go. But then the blood spills all over him, and he's like, ow, 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 ow. Yeah. And then right as he's looking at Valeria's body, it cuts. And well, it doesn't cut. It cuts to outside as the other three come up to Hulk, cradling Valeria's corpse.
This is hitting me, man. I'm not gonna lie. This is
let's see. Carol goes in and she's like, "It's in here with us." And then Miles immediately gets face hugged.
Damn.
That's unfortunate.
Holy shit.
He's lying on the ground. They debate getting it off of him, and Hulk's like, "No, we've tried it 1 billion times. That never works. If you remove it, it will kill him." The old guy who's there is like, "We got to do something, though, because it's about to start growing in him. And when it does, it will want to kill all of us. So we're going to have to fucking burn it."
I'm sorry, Miles. I wish that there was something. What the hell?
Oh, turns out that's fun.
Whoa.
Miles has a symbiote, and the symbiote gets absorbed into the face hugger, and Miles has a white suit on underneath, and now there is a face hugger crawling around that is black with the Spider-Man logo on it. But get this, it can fucking talk.
Holy shit, this rules. We don't like this body, but it will do for now.
So apparently this entire time we've been thinking Miles was Spider-Man, but turns out Miles is Venom in this continuity.
Dude.
Or rather was Venom.
Parasite co-ops Parasite. Symbiote seemingly trumps the Xenomorph.
Yeah, and they're all like, and everyone, like all the scientists in the room are just kind of looking at it going, huh.
That's fucking.
Let's see,
dude.
Carol picks him up, and then immediately after that, the symbiote jumps onto Miles's chest and kind of like not really absorbs, but just kind of like lives on his chest, forming the new spider logo on his white suit.
That rules so hard, dude. Holy shit.
And then it ends with Miles looking at the new facehugger spider symbol on his chest. And he goes, "The only way I'm going to be able to sleep again is we have to get the hell off of Earth." Dude. To be continued.
Holy fuck. Oh my God.
All right. They got a preview here of the cover of AVA 2.
Yes.
Let's see. We see a bunch of silhouettes of xenomorphs in the background. And then we have old Carol and Hulk and T'Challa and Iron Man. And Miles and Cap wearing a new outfit, looking at a couple of eggs that are in the process of opening in front of them. Also, Captain America and Iron Man were on the cover, but they were not in this issue.
They were not. We got pranked with that one, but that's fine.
We sure did.
I'm kind of glad they weren't in this one, honestly.
Oh, shit. Okay. Also, since I'm reading this illegally online, we have a whole bunch of comments down here.
Okay. Hold on to those for a minute.
I got to scroll through to see if there's any good ones, so we're good.
So the next issue of this drops in November 6th. So this is like a quarterly book or something?
Maybe, I guess.
Yeah, before we get to illegal user comments, I just want to remind everyone that I paid for my book.
Yeah, you sure did.
What did you think of this, man?
You go first.
Okay. So I sort of expressed my concerns about Hickman doing this series at the beginning. All of those are out the window. Okay. None of the stuff that I was unfamiliar with ultimately mattered that much to the story. I'm not super familiar with the Shi'ar. I don't think I could have picked them out from a them out from a lineup. Gee, guys, I'm tired. If it hadn't been for Danny helping me out identify some of these things. But it didn't matter, right? We got the story focused on characters that we are all largely familiar with one way or another, except this old guy who was probably a Wayland, right?
Yeah.
That Valeria twist, I genuinely did not see coming. And that really kind of hit me. That worked on me. But I think largely because of my familiarity with the character, that of course she just decided to go for this anyway because there was no other choice, and she's the only one who could create this virus that would take out the ovomorphs. And of course, she figured she had enough time because she's a fucking genius, right? But she was still like prepared with this automated message to whoever comes to the door of like, hey, just in case, like I've realized I don't have enough time, so don't you dare fucking come in here. That losing Valeria, we've lost the entire Fantastic Four in this universe. That bums me out. That was handled really, really well. And just seeing Hulk then just like rip the door open and like rip Xenomorph's face off was badass. This Miles has a symbiote, and this symbiote has absorbed a face hugger. Genuinely fucking cool. Genuinely did not see that coming. Never did that thought cross my mind ever that was going to happen.
I'm wondering if they're going to go the direction of maybe it keeps absorbing facehuggers to the point where it turns into like a symbiote facehugger hybrid. Maybe
that would kind of be rad. Maybe I like it. It's a fun play on like the original Secret Wars when Peter gets the symbiote in the beginning anyway, right? But this was that was so fun, and I'm really excited to see what happens from here on out, honestly, because that was a pretty dope twist that I was not expecting. I like that we see the downfall of planet Earth and everything very, very quickly, as opposed to dragging that part out for an entire issue, so that like we're already at the point where the survivors are now trying to figure out how they're going to keep surviving and what they're going to do about all of this. I just like that this wasn't an entire issue of setup, like we got Xenomorphs right away. We got to see the crisis play out, but the whole issue wasn't the crisis. And now we're seeing the survivors sort of making their plan on what to do next, which I think is a smart move, especially for a 4-issue limited series, even if they are about double length, all the issues. I hope they are. I hope the other ones are as long as this, honestly, which I never thought I'd say. Yeah, I'm excited. I'll answer our question. I would have bought this book out of curiosity, even if we didn't have to read it for the show. And after reading issue 1, I would absolutely pick up issue 2 based on this issue alone.
All right.
How do you feel?
Ah, man, how should I put this? Past me might be the most wrong I've ever been on this entire show. This issue was great. It ruled. I loved it. It was fucking phenomenal. I would read it again in a heartbeat. I'm not going to go so far as to say this might be my favorite thing we've read on the show, but one issue in, and it's definitely top 5, maybe even top 3 of things we've covered on this show. I was, like I said, I was as wrong as I've ever been thinking this comic was probably going to suck. Because one thing I was thinking about the other day, and because like I was, since everyone's been talking about, the Alien movies lately, somebody, there was a conversation going about like, whether the first one or the second one, the first 2 movies, which ones were better.
The first one.
And I was thinking about why, like what it is about the first one that I liked so much more than the second one.
Yes.
And like the second one has a lot of great characters and they have a lot of great interactions and stuff, but that combined with the fact that it's more of an action movie, the second movie, and especially because of the way the movie ends, the second movie is a lot less grim than the first one is.
Sure.
And when I was listening to, I wasn't listening to the conversation, I was reading it because it was happening on Discord, but I was thinking about it and I realized that that's a big part of the reason I like the first movie so much, is because it's so like unrelentingly like grim and dour and serious. Another reason why I like 3 so much, and that brings it around to here. Part of the reason I like this comic so much is it's not quippy. It's not fun. It's not exciting in the way Aliens is.
Right.
It's very grim. It's very self-serious. It's very depressing, for lack of a better term. And it has that feel of the first movie. That feel is part of the reason I like that movie so much. This feels a lot like it. And that's a big part of the reason why I fucking love this comic so much.
The comparison to Alien, and I'll touch on this Alien versus Aliens thing also, is once you've seen Alien, like Alien is full of fucking surprises, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
By the time you've seen Aliens, all of those surprises are kind of, they're not surprises anymore. They're just facts, you know.
Yeah.
There's face huggers, there's acid blood, there's chest bursters, there's perfect killing machines, etc. It's not, the surprises aren't there the same way they were in the first one. This was full of new surprises that absolutely still fit with what we know about the xenomorph and what we know about the Marvel universe, right? But it still finds a way to be surprising and new. Yeah. Which is a hard trick to pull off. And, you know, I should have had more faith in Jonathan Hickman because that's what he did throughout his entire Fantastic Four run that I don't shut up about. And that's what he still does on like his other comic series that he works on now, like the Ultimate Spider-Man series and everything. Like that's what he does. And just because all of his stuff doesn't work for me doesn't mean that the stuff that I'm familiar with won't. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So this book, shockingly good, but I shouldn't have been surprised at how good it was. That's on me. The art also fucking rules. This sort of like
the art is real good.
Like this ink wash or colored pencil look on the art, however the coloring is done is great. The characters, everyone looks like they should. I mean, Spider-Man looks like Spider-Man, obviously, when he's in his suit, and Hulk looks like Hulk. But like seeing these aged up versions of them is quite successful. You can still sort of see the characters, like see who they are, you know? I don't know. It just rules. Like everything about this book fucking ruled. And I'm sad that my entire first family is dead in this universe. But, you know, honestly, if they were around, you know, I guess the biggest thing is that we'll never get to see what happens if Ben Grimm gets face hugged, unless there's like a flashback or something.
There might be. It's possible.
You know, we had theories about it, or I did at least. You sort of tolerated those, but I don't know. Maybe we'll get a flashback in issue 2. Who knows? Good book.
I agree. Very good. And the comment section seems to agree. We got someone that says, very interesting. I love this story. My favorite artist. Val is one of my favorite characters, so It was hard to see her divorced, broken, and old.
With you there, buddy.
Somebody else says, haha, so old Valeria is just Sue, haha.
Well, that's her daughter. Like, yeah, of course they look similar.
Let's see. Pretty solid and well-paced read by a tried and true team.
Yes.
Alternate universe, anything goes, no status quo resets, and we have actual stakes. Really looking forward to the future.
Yeah, that's a good, you know, when we talked about this on an earlier episode when it was announced, that's the one thing I think we both hoped, was that this would be like a Marvel Zombies style, anything goes, nothing is off limits, characters are going to die, big names are going to die books. And it seems like we got that.
I was mainly just hoping it did not take place in 616, because that's like, that idea is the thing about hearing about this comic that made me upset, because I was worried it was just going to be like, I was worried this comic was going to be Marvel's way of integrating xenomorphs into the Marvel universe.
Sure.
So I'm glad it didn't turn out to be that. Let's see. Hickman did it again. I'm 100% bought in. I bet his back hurts from always carrying the company.
I don't know how Chip Zdarsky's going to feel about that statement, but
I was pleasantly surprised. Shouldn't have doubted Hickman.
Yeah, okay. So that comment wasn't left by me, but it might as well have been.
The facehugger symbiote suit is sick as hell, and sick has like 7 eyes.
Agreed.
Here's a great one. Symbiote trumps alien. Thank God, I thought Miles was a goner there for a second, but they misspelled goner and wrote gooner.
Maybe they meant, isn't gooner like a slang right now? Maybe they meant gooner.
I thought Miles was a gooner there for a second. Let's see. Somebody asked if Wolverine or Deadpool could survive an implantation.
Yeah, I will say I'm kind of glad Deadpool's not in this. At least so far.
That's most of the comments. A couple of them were like, I was confused about this point or blah, blah. But yeah, most of the comments are all like, wow, this comic is actually really good. Excellent.
Yeah, man, this was solid. This is making me want to revisit. I don't own any of the Batman Aliens books, but I do have the Superman Aliens trade sitting over there on my shelf. I might have to crack that bad boy open just for some recreational reading.
Also, I believe you mentioned it earlier, but I'm going to say again, just for the listeners, issue 2 goes on sale November 6th.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't wait, because part of me was thinking we'd wait until they were all out and tackle this at once. But man, that's a long time.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a year.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be quite. Well, maybe it will be about that long almost, because it came out, like 4 days ago, I think.
Something like that.
So end of August, and then the beginning of November is the next one. So.
Sure. Looking forward to that issue, though.
So,
issue
yeah,
2
like
is going to be
2.5 months, something like that.
Would it be
give or take?
It'd be funny if Iron Man and Captain America never show up and they're just on all of the covers.
Yeah, I was due to the setup that this issue gives, I am like, this kind of implies that these are all the heroes that are left.
Yeah, man.
I mean, nothing explicitly says no one else is still alive, but like after all of this, these are the only 4 people that are here.
Well,
leads me to believe that it's because these are the only people that are still alive.
Well, 3, I guess 4, including the old man.
Yeah. Well, it would be Carol, Bruce, Miles, Valeria, and the old guy, but now Valeria is dead, and we don't know who the old guy is, so maybe he's just some dude. We have no idea yet.
There's still it's all I was gonna say. Like, there's the xenomorph that came out of her, and I was like, isn't there the egg still? But a dumbass, that's what attached onto the symbiote. So
yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to say about this book before we wrap it up?
No, I think I already pretty much mentioned what I wanted to say. The issue is cool. It's really good. It's really fun. If there's anyone out there that is like, should I check out any comics in the Marvel Aliens run? Yeah, you should check out Black, White, and Blood, and you should check out this.
This, I think I've already said this, but this does a good job letting you in, because any of the characters you're not familiar with don't matter anyway. Mm-hmm. And the ones, maybe, Valeria may be the exception to that, but you get a good sense of who she is in the book, and then she dies anyway.
He sure does. So we're dealing with Miles and the Venom symbiote, Bruce and Captain Marvel. That's who we have. That's who's fighting the endless horde of xenomorphs now.
Sure. What if this old man is Captain America?
I've been wondering who it was. I don't know.
We saw his old ass at the end of whatever the Avengers movie was, right?
Endgame.
Sure. We also saw him old in House of Marvel, didn't we? Or House of M, I mean. But
I believe so. I think so.
Yeah.
I don't really remember. That was 19 years ago. So a lot of my memory about it is clouded and I don't fully remember it, but I think so.
I just remember that one. That was when Ed Brubaker was writing it, and there's that solid issue where it was just old Captain America, and he's just like going to his apartment with his groceries, and then all the heroes who like remember what happened are like, we can't drag him into this. He's too old. Let's not do it. Good issue. Got it in a box somewhere.
But yeah, like I said, I don't have anything else. I thought it was great. A+, thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up. Solid book. Cannot wait to read the rest of the series. Let's wrap it up, though. One more shout out to Danny from the Next Issue Podcast, youtube.com/@nextissuepodcast, I think.
I think so.
He says he will definitely make a follow-up video talking about everything we got wrong.
Looking forward to it. Hell yeah.
Stay tuned to that, and we'll tweet a link out to that, or we'll
do something.
We'll thread a link. We'll blue sky a link, whatever.
Yeah, we'll do something.
Kenny, where can people find you on the internet?
I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on Twitter. I'm on a couple other things as well. If you want to find me somewhere, search for the username at CYHOBBEZ.
I am on, I'm not even going to plug the Twitter. I don't use it. I am on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok at Final Neil. That's Neil with an A. And I've been putting some effort into posting things, particularly on our Instagram and Threads account, the show accounts, which Kenny will give you here in a minute, and YouTube Shorts. So go follow those things. Kenny, where can they follow those?
We're on Twitter at Crew Expendapod. We're on Blue Sky at Crew Expendable. We're on Instagram and Threads at Crew Expendable Pod. Our website is crewexpendable.net. Our email address that you can send us an email at is mother@crewexpendable.net. Our YouTube is youtube.com/@crewexpendable.
Nice. I think this is going to go out before our Sea of Sorrows issue or episode 3 episode. So our next episode should be Sea of Sorrows episode 3, guys. The final one on that.
Bob is back, in case you were wondering.
Bob 8 will be back for that one. We've already recorded it in the past. It's crazy.
We sure have.
Time dilation, am I right?
That's right. That's exactly how that works.
So look forward to that. And until then, stay frosty.